Welcome back to another episode of Cosmic Confessions. I'm your host, CrashLit, and today we are joined by the first chili pepper to come on the show, Brandon Crosby. Brandon, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, Crash. Appreciate you, bro.
Of course, and for those you don't know, fun fact, Brandon and his family, they're my landlord, so I'm actually recording on my end. I'm in their house right now. So
I
that's pretty
love
much
that.
where
I love that.
that's where my home studio is right
Let's
now.
go.
So
Let's go.
But as always, but Brandon, it's always great talking with you, whether it's talking landlord, lease stuff, or seeing you at Cosmic, or
For
obviously,
sure.
this last weekend in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I feel like
What a
we
way
we
to
haven't
start
been
off.
able to I feel like we haven't been able to talk as much just because we've been so busy, traveling and moving around. So it'd be good to have this convo, man, so we can really chop it up.
Absolutely, and just what a weekend that was for us down there. I mean, you definitely seem to be enjoying yourself on the field from what I saw, and just a great way in general for us to start the season. Can you talk kind of what that was like to just open the season in Jacksonville in front of all those people 3 straight
Oh
nights?
man, I mean, it was awesome. So this was the first time we played a three game series, and I mean, we started the series on Thursday in Jacksonville. I mean, it was electric. You kind of think, Thursday school night and stuff like that. You don't really expect it to be as like people as excited as they were, but I mean, they showed up and showed out. So I mean. It was really cool. I mean, for it to be our first stop, a lot of the new guys came in, like new faces like yourself, on the staff. I mean, and it was great, man. It was a great weekend. Those weekends they feel like they fly by. So I think for me, the biggest thing I try to do is try to enjoy it as much as possible. Being in like that. That's we won't be in Florida again all year, right? So it's just like, all right, man, how can we enjoy this? I had my family came out, my girlfriend, her family came out. And like I said, it was a great experience. So I'm really happy with how it went. And the Peps won, so that made it a little sweeter.
For sure. And you mentioned family. So I do want to ask you about that. And just from knowing you, especially with just how you guys have obviously, done an amazing job, not just you, your whole family, making sure I'm, taken care of here in your guys' place. So obviously appreciate your hospitality.
Appreciate you,
But they
Crash.
really, but they really do see you guys really seem really close is the general takeaway I've gotten. So just how
Yeah.
have they stayed with you and supported you, even just when you earlier on, especially early on in your career when you were getting cut in college,
Oh yeah.
dealing with injuries, dealing with some trouble,
Yeah.
and just did they just stick by you, and just how does that
Yeah,
really
man.
translate to
So
where
my
you are
family,
now?
yeah. So my family, so like all of my family they are all entertainers. My mom, she writes plays. She's been a cheerleader. She's done track. She's done all types of different things. My dad as well. He's played baseball, professional baseball with the Royals. Holds the stolen base record at Longwood. My sister, she's a singer. She's a podcast producer. Brother, he's a dancer. So that's kind of my family background is like entertainment and always being on the stage, performing in athletics, just doing things like in that kind of that spirit, that entertainment, sports and theatrical type of thing. So I kind of grew up that way, and I think our parents really instilled that in us, at a young age, was to chase your dreams and do things outside of the norm. And I think that's kind of where, through my journey, when I've gone through certain things, or when I've dealt with adversity, along the journey, they were right there with me. I'm not in this fight alone, and I think that's what makes this, our family, and I that's why I love them so much, because they supported me through the ups, the downs, the happy, the sad. Because I mean, a lot of this stuff, man, is you're gonna deal with it. I mean, the road, the greatness, or the road to success isn't always pretty. And in my story, it wasn't always pretty. But thanks to my support system and the people around me, it just gives me that drive and that inspiration to keep going. So big hats off to them. And I mean, like you said, man, you even see it with the house. Like anytime there's an issue at the house or whatever's going down, or you know what I'm saying, like we've been dealing with some things, whatever, everybody comes over and pitches in and helps. So that's kind of how we move. We move as a team, and I'm just super grateful to have them in my life.
And you've had some moments, you alluded to it, just in your career when it probably was easier for you to just decide, where it could have been easier to quit. So just, you talk about family, but what else just kept you motivated to keep going when it would have been easier to just say, I quit?
Yeah, man. I think it's definitely something where you kind of look in the mirror and you say, man, how do I want my what how do I want to tell my story? Like I think the thing is all the time is, all right, when I'm 50 60 years old and I got kids or grandkids or whatever the case may be, and they're like, oh, what did you do in your life? So whenever I look back at my life, it's like, my kids say, hey man, like what was your life like? What, like, can you tell me about it? I don't want to look back and say, man, I gave up. Hey, I tried to do this or I tried to do that, and I don't think your failures determine you. Or they don't. Your failures don't. Um, they don't. They they don't like I said. It don't like failure doesn't determine who you are as a person. I think what counts is how you get through the failures, how you deal with adversity, how you get through those friction points in life. That's what kind of makes you into who you are, and like I remember my first year in JUCO when I had got kicked out of school in my life. It just wasn't looking too good for me, and I came back home and I was about to stop playing. Like I just wanted to go back to school, get my degree. I was like, this isn't for me. Like I'm not good enough. I didn't do enough, and I just want to go get a regular job, and which is nothing wrong with that. But I want to just give it up completely. And I remember my mom telling me, she's like, no, like you still have something left in the tank. Like you can do it. Like I believe in you. And she was telling me this when I didn't even believe in myself. And I think that's the biggest thing. A lot of people don't believe in themselves. Like at the time I didn't believe in myself to where I could be where I'm at now. Like that kid that was 20 years old, then that was about, oh no, I was like 19. That 19-year-old kid that didn't believe in himself. Like if I would have quit then, I would never be where I'm at now. And it's just like it was literally a perspective change. Like I really believe that you are who you think you are. So I think that's what it is, bro. Of course, an inner drive, my support system, people around me, but also to myself. It was like I don't want my story to end like this. I mean, even now, man, like I'm playing Cosby baseball. I'm 28 years old, but it is a thing of, man, like God put me in this position. I have these opportunities. Let me make the most out of it and see where it takes me and see what is out there. A lot of people give up before they even start. So Crash, I tell you, so my junior year of college, I mean my freshman year of college, when I got kicked out of school, that same year I was thinking about giving up and quitting. The following year, I became an All American and I led the nation in stolen bases. So it's like I wanted to, like in the moment I wanted to quit, but if I would have quit, I would never had experience being an All American, going to the Junior College World Series and leading the nation in stolen bases, breaking records and all of these different things. So I just to whoever's like listening or watching this, like keep going because like your story's not over. Like don't give up before you even start.
For sure. And you also talk about just, staying like faithful to God. And I know obviously from just seeing you lead a prayer, I think after it was the first game, that just your faith is super important. You can talk about just not giving up on that at all and just
Yeah,
really your
man.
just
I
belief in that.
Yeah, I think it goes back to what I said, like in that same story. I was doing a lot of stuff based off of my will, based off of the things that I wanted, based off of my personal pride or my ego. And it wasn't until I gave my life to God, and I tried God in a sense, and I said, man, like I want to do this for you. And then, it just, it was like a weight lifted off my shoulder. I had got into some trouble in the past, and things weren't going my way, but I was in all the wrong things, around all the wrong people, around the wrong crowds. And when I got into some trouble, God whispered in my ear, he said, "Try me." Keep going, but try me this time. And I tried him, and I never looked back since. So that's why I just stand so much on my faith, and I believe in him so much, because when I was at my lowest and there was no one around me, of course I got support from my family, but even I'm so low that my family can't even get me out of this. God was there, and he picked me up out the mud, man. And he cleaned me, and he showed me who I was and whose I was. And I think that's why I go so hard in the faith, and why I want to declare his name. I literally, me and God had a talk, and I said, man, if you get me out of this, if you, allow me to keep playing baseball, living out my dream, and just give me another shot, I'll honor your name, and I'll give you the glory with everything that I do. And man, he has showed up and showed out in my life. So, that's my biggest thing, is like, whatever I do, it's not by my will, but his will be done. I say, I got a saying, it's through God, for God, through God, for God, TGFG. Everything that I do is through God and for God. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. So, got to give him all the glory.
I really appreciate your honesty and really getting vulnerable in this first part of the conversation, Brandon. So just really opening up about just some of these lower points and just how you've gotten to this point. But now I do want to ask you about, you decided to turn pro after college, tried to grind out in the minor leagues for a minute, and then ultimately landed in banana ball. Can you talk about your experience there and what that time was like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a crazy ride, man. I mean, through college, it was I went to about four different schools. My 2020 year of my senior year of college at Norfolk State got canceled because of COVID. So then I went. That's when I went, and I started to pursue professional baseball. Got hurt, went back to school for my COVID, for my grad year, my fifth year. And I went to Warner University, did well. Um and then I got picked up to play indie ball for a couple years, and then that's where I landed with banana ball. I think you were referring to like banana ball, or you were just saying just professional baseball in general.
Well, it was kind of, I mean, if you want to talk about your pro career, but I guess I was kind of more trying to slowly get to obviously Cosmic. So it was kind of, I guess, asking
Yeah, the
about
lead up.
kind of
Okay,
banana
got you. I
ball.
got you. Okay, got you. Yeah. So totally get it. So yeah, man. So yeah, went to go try to play independent ball and get myself to the next level, trying to get to minor league, trying to work my way up. And I got to a point, man, it just stopped becoming fun. When you play pro ball, it's very business like, it's politics, it's all types of stuff. I mean, you're away from home, not getting paid much, and it was very stressful, man, trying to like perform, like, because at that level it's all about numbers. It's all about what you do on the field. And I think it was a God thing. It was a whisper. Like, you get these whispers from God, and just like, there's something else. There's something else for me. This is kind of getting old. I know I still want to play ball, but I don't know exactly what that looks like. So I started looking at different options to go play overseas, and play in different leagues and different things that was going on. And that's when I got the call from the Bananas, and I went to try it out for them, and I made the team, and I ended up going on their 32 city world tour. I believe that was 2024. Yeah, that was 2024 when we went on that 32 city world tour, and it was awesome, man. I met a lot of great creators, made some great friends, traveled the world. I mean, it was really cool. But I didn't play much. And I guess I wasn't one of their so-called guys, or stars at the time. But I learned a lot. I learned a lot over there, and I think. that's what really helped me get to Cosmic and the position that I'm in now. And so now we here now, you know.
And can you talk about just now that we're talking about Cosmic, and that was you led me right into my next question, actually, Brandon. And pretty much what I want to ask you about Cosmic is just how do they just make you feel just valued as part of the organization and just their
Yeah.
model of just how they really want to grow this thing? Because I think we can both agree, like there's something here, and it's I'm excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, no, for sure, bro. I mean, when I first came to Cosmic last year, like I said, after I didn't go back with the bananas, as soon as I came to Cosmic, I mean, it was like open arms. Like, this is family. We're so happy for you to be here. And I think that's the biggest thing is like every single guy that's here, they're so grateful and happy for the guys to be here and a part of this family. I think Chris Martin does a really good job of creating that atmosphere, creating that um environment where this is a family. Because yeah, as you see, Crash, like most of the people on staff, whether it's Jason, Dustin, or Mike or Christopher, some of these people are have been in Chris's life for a while. So he, literally the leadership are his friends, is his people, is his family. So everybody coming in is just adding to that family, and I think that's that's what I'm a part of. We got the saying, "You can't limit God." It's in all of our hats, all of our jerseys, and I think when you really when you really look at that motto and really like think about what that means, is like we really we doing this thing with all of our friends, with like people that we meet this year are people that will be our friends forever. And I think that's really special, bro. And I think that's the magic. Like you said, it's this thing. It's kind of contagious. You don't really know what it is, but it's something really special when you're here. And I think that's what we have with Cosmic Baseball. It's more than just an organization. It's more than just a baseball team or some lights. It's a family, man. And I think that is contagious when people see our experiences and our shows, and that kind of just rubs off on everybody. So it's really cool, bro. It's really cool to be a part of this organization and what we stand on.
For sure, I had some friends who came out to to the opener, and they had a blast seeing everything, especially in the Cosmic
Yeah.
part of the game. And one thing I wanted to ask you about is, dude, you got moves, man. Like I didn't know you had that in you, both during the block party and every time you both when your
um,
name got when you got introduced and every time you walked up to the
well,
plate.
man,
Dude,
I'm
your
always
moves are
losing in
like
the. For some reason, I always lose the block party. I don't know why. I really don't know why, man. I'm out there killing it. You know what I mean? But that's neither here nor there. But I appreciate that though, Crash. I appreciate
but I guess I
it.
just wanted to ask just can you talk about just how just that caught just because you can really, show off those moves in addition to
Mhm.
playing ball, just how you have that, I guess, creative freedom both in the block party and on the field to show off like that.
Yeah, man. So like I said before, I come from a family of entertainers. Like since I was a little boy, I've been on the stage. I've been doing step shows. I've been doing talent shows, like all types of stuff with my family. Like I said, just come from that type of environment where we were always singing, always dancing, coming up with different, choreographies. At high school, I did show choir. So my whole life, man, I've been on the stage doing different things, but I've always loved baseball as well. So this is so cool for me because both of the worlds collide to where I can play baseball, but I can also be myself and like dance and have fun. So it's always been me, but now I have a stage or I have a platform where I can be me. So it's really cool, bro, because I mean, before this, dancing wasn't really a thing on the baseball field. I mean, honestly, you get looked at like, man, what is he doing? Like that's weird. But here, it's celebrated, right? You're like, bro, those are some cool moves. Like, man, keep doing it. It's celebrated. So, like I said, man, God got a funny way of making your dreams come true. Sometimes you don't even know what that looks like. So, super super grateful for that as well.
You mentioned that you've been being an kind of been in the showbiz kind of your whole life. Do you have a favorite memory as a kid
Oh
being on
man.
stage in some capacity?
Yeah, yeah, you'll like this one, Crash. So my mom is a hairstylist, so she was a really famous hair. She still is a well-known hairstylist in Richmond. But back in the day, she used to do these big concerts and big events for it's this hair brand called Paul and Mitchell system, and they do like these big concerts and events like hairstyling events. And I remember like when I was 6 years old, I went to Las Vegas, and it was about like 7,000 people at this event or at this hair show. And I went out there and like did like a whole choreographed dance, and like in front of 7,000 people. It was just me and like two other little kids. And like I'll never forget that, like being a little kid in Vegas, like packed out crowd, like, and I killed it. I did really well. And I remember being 6 years old. I remember being really nervous, but as soon as I got out on that stage, I killed it. And I think ever since then I was like, oh, like I think this the stage, like it's meant for me, like this is me. So
How do you think that confidence you learned from that moment when you were 6 in Vegas is carried into your days now as a Chili Pepper?
yeah, man, I think I think like I said, I think I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. You never really know why your journey goes the way that it does, or like why you're in certain positions. But now I can look back and say, oh, that was just preparation. I was on that stage because at 28 years old, you'll be on an even bigger stage, doing walk ups, or the stage doesn't change. It's just our stage just happens to be a baseball field. So I think it was God, man. I think it was like he works in mysterious ways. I think he was preparing me for these moments in a time such as this.
For sure. And I do want to ask you, what has been just the most rewarding part of being part of the Chili Peppers and being part of Cosmic Baseball?
Wow. Oh, that's so good, man. That's such a deep question. I think the biggest reward, bro, is being a part of something bigger than myself. And like I said, our motto is you can't limit God. We pray after games, we pray for fans. Just the standard of guys that we bring in. It's not just we bring in anybody in here. Like it's a standard that you have to hold to play cosmic baseball, to interact with fans, to uphold this type of like I said, to uphold this type of standard, man, to be a part of that is very special to me. And I'm playing with my best friends, man. I get to travel the world and play baseball with my best friends. Like you can't beat that. That's the dream right there, man, is doing what you love and doing it with the people that you love. So I think that's like my biggest reward. A lot of people don't get to do this. I think Ray Ortega said at one point that he said something like it's the probability of you getting struck by lightning is higher than like getting picked to play cosmic baseball. To get picked to play cosmic baseball is harder than to make it to the MLB with the amount of people that's in the minor league system. So like to be here, man, is like it is super rewarding, man. It's an honor, and I don't think people even understand that. But it's like it's not many people do it. We're the only sporting event that plays glow in the dark baseball in the
How is
world.
Can you
In the
talk about that?
world,
For real, I know it's super cool. Can you talk about what that adjustment was like? I know obviously you're part of Cosmic last year, but can you talk about when the lights go out and the game goes Cosmic? How's that different of how you have to, see the ball? You only everything's reacted, the uniforms, that's kind of what you got to go by. So can you talk about just
yeah,
how a Cosmic game is different than a traditional day game of baseball?
yeah. It's, like I look at it as you know baseball being the normal like daytime, being like just normal baseball that you've been playing your whole life. When you switch over to Cosmic, it's like switching over to a video game, literally. And like you kind of talked about that magic earlier, Crash, and that's the same thing that happens in Cosmic in real life. It's like the lights come on, you see the fans, they're all glowing up, it's music going crazy, and it's like you're in a video game. And like for me personally, it's like I go into another mode. Like it's like I don't know, it's like anything that happened in a regular baseball game is times 10. So, extra bases are getting stolen, you're throwing, like you're just doing all types of crazy stuff. Like, I don't know, it's just, and it's something that I tell people all the time. You got to be there to experience. I mean, your first time was probably very like, oh, this is different. Like, it's like it's very different from what you see online. So, I think playing wise, it's kind of tough with the depth perception and stuff like that. But like once you kind of lock that in with your eyesights and you kind of get a feel how to play, I mean, it's like playing a regular game, just in the cosmos in a video game. It's like what is that? What we used to play? What we used to play? What is it? Glow in the dark tag with the guns. I forgot what they
Laser,
call
is
it.
it laser tag?
Laser tag. Yeah, it's kind of like playing. It's kind of like laser tag, like playing baseball, like laser tag. Like it's like you in this like you're in this hut and you're like just playing ball. It's sick.
All I can say is I have never seen anything like it, and it was so cool to just see it, especially on that first night. It's
Yeah,
just so cool to
yeah,
see, and it was really cool to just see how just the fans get into it and how you guys really, hyped them up, especially with all just the different in-game bits between innings, obviously the home run derbies. How does that just also factor in, especially, Cosmic for those people who have yet to watch a game, which I fully encourage you to do, either make it out to Birmingham or one of our remaining 29 stops, or watch it online at YouTube. Our play-by-play guy, Colin Kapoor, does a great job there.
yeah.
We just do very untraditional things. We do a seventh inning rave, not a seventh inning stretch. Home run derbies after every inning ensures every game. Ensures every game has a shot to end on a walk off.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I think that's exactly what you said, is to make the game fun again. Is to do things that are not traditional. We look at this game of baseball that we dearly love. It's kind of been, watered down a little bit. Just with where we are in today's age, it's hard to sit down and watch a 9 inning game as slow as it is. There's no music. It's very, like I said, it sometimes can be boring. And I don't, to play the game is not boring. Me watching the baseball game isn't boring, but for people that don't watch baseball, or especially these young kids that want to get into baseball, I think that's a big thing. Is you gotta reach them a certain type of way and then teach them. So I think cosmic baseball and entertainment baseball does a good job of showing people how the game is played in a different way to get more people interested in the game, because at the end of the day it's a game. What I mean, at the end of the day the game was built for people to have fun. It's a kids game. I think we, as humans, we didn't kind of made it. Oh, it's all about the numbers and it's all about this standard, and it's just like, man, like anything that can make the game fun again. I think that's what it's all about, and that's what we do here, and it's especially like you'll see like me, like other guys, like me myself, other guys that come in. You got to think we've been playing traditional baseball our whole lives. You can't bat flip. You can't do this. You got to dress like this. You can't do that. You can't do that. And here you can just be yourself. Like I said earlier, anywhere, I never danced on the baseball field, and that's never been celebrated. Now I dance on the baseball field, and 12,000 people are coming up and cheering me on and saying, "Yeah, do it again." It's like it's a special place. So I think all of these rules, all these different things, the home run derbies, the ball four fungos, the reverse innings, that's getting people into the game. That's wanting people to come back. People watch our games. It's just like, I can't wait to watch you guys again. But they might go to a Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp game and go to the game and just be like, okay, I'm good. I'm good for the rest of the year, which isn't always right, but you got to do something to get people involved, and you got to do something to get people excited.
For sure. You have no idea how many times I've been told no when I've tried to rally friends to go to USC baseball games with me when I was back in college. But, final few questions for you, Brandon. This has been obviously a terrific interview and still a couple more questions. What's the best advice that you've ever gotten throughout your life?
Ooh. Oh man. The best advice I've gotten was to do thy duty that is best, leave unto the Lord the rest. That's been some of the best advice that I've gotten because it's just pretty much simple. It's do your best, leave unto God the rest. All you can control is your best. All you can control is showing up, giving your effort, your attitude, your hard work. And from there, God got to say so and what the results look like. So that's been a great saying for me and something that I've always stuck with. And also, you got to trust the open and the closed doors, because when it's when it's an open door, that means that God has sent you there and that He's in the midst of it. But if it's a closed door, and that means that God closed that for a reason, He has something better for you.
And finally, Brandon, as obviously you know, today we are recording on a Tuesday. We leave for Birmingham first thing in the morning. So obviously excited for tour stop number 2. Brandon, I'm going to give you the floor here. Do you have a message for all of our fans who are either going to watch us on TV or come see you play this summer at some point?
And come to see the experience, the Cosmic Baseball experience. You won't regret it. You get to come see Showtime. You get to see CrashLit. You get to see all the boys. You get to see us all having a great time and doing something special under black lights. And it's something that you've never seen before, especially on the baseball field. So I would encourage you guys to come out and experience it firsthand.
Brandon Crosby, thank you so much for joining me here today on Cosmic Confessions. Be sure to subscribe to us on Apple, Spotify. We should be on all audio platforms. Be sure to give Brandon a follow at bcross_5, and be sure to check out Showtime when we hit Birmingham this upcoming Thursday through Saturday. Thank you again, Brandon. We'll see you all for the next episode of Cosmic Confessions. Take care.